Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So that is this is what I wanted to just tell you about the different types of orders. Okay. Anyone has any doubts as far as the screen that I had shown you? This was the screen that I had shown you. Anyone has any doubts in this? I'm waiting for response. Anyone has, if there are no doubts, we'll proceed.
No, sir. No doubts, sir.
No doubts? Surprising. Either you have not understood anything or you have understood something more than what I know.
Your voice is low.
I said either you have not understood anything or probably you know something more than me. After teaching for 5 years, 7 years, I still don't know how to read these charts. I don't know from which
So the types of orders we got, sir. Types of order what you thought. That we understood, sir.
that you understood. Okay. In your next module, you have to understand this. How to read this chart. What are these levels? Okay, what do you mean by this candle, red candle? What do you mean by green candle? What do you mean by wick? What do you mean by convection? What do you mean by body of the candle? All these things you have to study in detail. Okay. Anyways, that will come whenever we have to study.
Sir, what is that holdings positions?
See, this is my what do you say? This is my dashboard. This is my personal account. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
it tells you how my portfolio has behaved so far. Okay, this was how my portfolio was doing. Then we had the COVID situation. Okay, I made some losses and now slowly I am recovering from those losses. That is what it says. Okay, this order says how many today, how many orders have I placed? Today I have not placed any orders. Okay, so this talks about orders. Holding stocks, how many shares I'm presently holding. Okay, so it talks about my holdings. In terms of position, it tells me whether I have taken any intraday position, what is there, that is the solution that I have. So that is what we call as positions. And funds is how many funds are available with me that can be used for trading. What is my exposure that the company has given. I am trading only in equity. So this is a margin that is available for me. I don't deal in commodity markets. So all the values here are zero. Okay, so this is a dashboard basically. Okay. And something else that I have to show you here is so these are the different types of views that I can have. If I want two charts on one thing, so this tells me how many minute chart I want. If I want 1 minute chart, I'll get it for every minute what is happening in terms of price. If I want to know this, I'll be able to understand here. So this is called a 1 minute chart. Okay. Likewise, I have 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, and 1 month chart. Okay. This talks about the views. Okay. So if I want to save this particular view, I have to go for saved views. Okay. If I want to display, I don't want this particular red and green. I want a bar chart. So I'll get a bar chart like this. Okay. If I don't want that, I want a color bar, I can get a color bar. So this is what we call as a color bar chart. If that is not also okay, if I want a line graph, I will get a line graph. Okay. Then if I got a vertex line, I'll get a vertex line. These are peak points. Sorry. Then we have steps. Okay. So it talks about, stepwise movement of the share. And last one is a bar. This is a area chart. These charts are available in Excel. So this is what we call as the area chart. Then we have hollow circles. Okay. So all these are nothing but different types of displays that we have. Yeah, Narayan.
Sir, why there will be a difference between Zerodha chart and TradingView or the Screener.com chart?
See, it is a broker has to distinguish himself in marketing. You have to create your unique selling proposition. Only then your products will sell. Otherwise, your products will not sell. Today, most of the people want everything online, and they want the ease of doing business. That is also that is what they are looking for. So if I'm able to get all these studies done, so for example, if I want to do these particular studies, say for example, I want to have Bollinger Bands. Okay, I just click on the Bollinger Bands, I'll get the Bollinger Bands. Okay, Bollinger Bands is nothing but it indicates what is the volatility that is experienced in this particular share. So don't worry as of now, because it's premature to tell you all these things. So we have, if you want to do some studies, we can do all the studies. Okay, for example, I'll just show you one more RSI. Okay. Now, can you see this RSI? It is written here, RSI. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
I'll just remove this so that it will be visible for you. Can you see this now, RSI? So you see a
Yes,
line
sir.
called as 20, and you see another line called as 80 here on top. Okay, there is some calculation that I'll tell you at a later stage. This calculation tells you that if this particular line, the black color line that you can see, if it goes beyond 80, that means you have to sell the share. Okay, and if this line goes below 20, then you have to buy the share. That is what it says. Right now the share is in between. Okay, it is heading downwards. So just wait. Let there be an ideal time to buy this particular share. Then you can buy this particular share. Okay, I can show you this in case of Titan Industries. Yeah. See, if you see in Titan Industries, it has almost come to very close level. It was very close level. Sorry. Which company? Sorry, this is Titan. Yeah. So Titan, it is, if you look at it, it had gone to its peak. Can you see this? I told you 80 is the benchmark. It has almost come 78. Okay, so that was the time you should have ideally sold the shares if you had shares of Titan Industries. And look at this chart. The chart is going down, going up, going down. Okay, if it comes below 20, that is the right time for you to buy this particular share. So these are some different studies that are available as far as the charts are given to you. Okay, so we have various types of studies that we can do. I think there's one more study that you can tell you. There's something called a super trend. Okay, super trend means, can you see this green color point here? I'll just close this. I put one more marker as super trend. Can you see this line? Can you see this V-shaped upward movement? Hello, are you able to listen to me? Can you see, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So can you see this V type of line? It tells you that the share has reached its highest peak as of this particular segment. It is time for you to sell. Look at this line. Okay, and look here. It gives you an indication that the share has no potential to rise further, so it is better you sell your share now. And that's immediately after that the share fell down. Okay, so this is what we call as super trend lines. Okay, so don't worry as of now. These studies we'll treat later, because these studies require a lot of deep understanding of various thoughts and terminology that we have to understand. Okay, anyway, I'm just logging off from this particular my ID. we'll come to where we had stopped. Yeah. So this is where we had stopped as far as the order and order types are concerned. Okay. So we'll move further. I don't think anyone has any doubts in understanding these order types when I've shown you practically how things work. Okay. For you to understand how things properly work, again, I repeat, you need to have a trading account, you need to have a demat account and a trading account. Only then you'll be able to use this particular platforms that are available, right? This is another, I have an account with a company called Zerodha. This is, I think Prayag sir has an account with a company called Ventura Securities. Okay, so this is how the screen looks like. Again, the name is here. You can buy, sell, stop loss, all these things, market order, limit order, okay, stop loss order, all these things are available here. Only thing is the layout might be different, a bit different, but most of the things will be very, very common here. This is a snapshot that I have taken. Okay, this is not a live market. Yeah, so we'll just take up this slide and then we'll stop. Next, we need to understand who are the people who work in this particular stock exchange. So basically, we need to understand who are the brokers and what is their function as far as broking services are concerned. So as the name suggests, broker is nothing but an agent who acts as an intermediary between the stock exchange and the investor. If people like you and me go and invest in the stock exchange or go to NSE and pay them money and say, please, I want to trade, give me shares of Asian Paints or give me shares of Titan Industries, NSE will never entertain you. They will say, you first go to the broker, you open a demat account with them, you open a trading account with them, only through them you have to trade. So we cannot trade directly with the exchange. So the only way in which we can trade with the exchange is through a broker. Clear? Now, once we know that we have to trade through a broker, we need to understand the different types of brokers who are available. Usually, we have three main types of brokers, but I've added three more for your understanding purpose. But the three main types of brokers that we have is the first type of broker that we have, we call him as a speculator. Okay. Now, the word speculator is a person, or he's that type of a broker who is not really interested to buy the shares for a long-term horizon. His job is to make quick profits. Okay, he will buy the share today and he will sell the share today afternoon, or he may buy the shares today afternoon, he may sell the shares tomorrow morning. So his intention is not really to keep the shares for a longer period of time. His intention is to keep the shares for a shorter period of time, and that is the reason he always believes in quick profits. At the same time, there could be losses also. So he has a considerable higher amount of risk on his shoulders, but if he's ready to take that particular risk, we can choose such brokers. Okay, so there are these type of brokers who act as speculators. They just work on the difference in prices, and they make quick profits between the price movements. So that is how these brokers tend to generally act. Next, we have another type of broker who is a hedger. Now, hedger is a person who tends to invest for a long-term horizon. He wants to invest for 3 years, he wants to invest for 5 years. He is not really interested in making small profits. He wants to earn a huge amount of profit, and he is ready to wait for that. Okay, so generally all retail investors tend to choose such brokers who act as hedgers. In other words, who tend to buy shares at a price, wait for a certain number of years, and then sell the shares when the price reaches a certain amount of level and make a substantial amount of profit. But it comes at a price. The price is you have to wait. You have to give time for your investment to grow. So that is what we call as hedger. Arbitrager is a person who buys shares in one market and sells the share in the second market. For example, I may buy the share in a particular market. Maybe I can buy the share in Bombay Stock Exchange, okay, if the price is low, and I can sell the share immediately in the National Stock Exchange if the price is high. Generally, this does not happen. Okay, the price of the two exchanges is almost the same. But suppose I have experienced this particular phenomena. There was a company called as Idea Cellular. Okay, before it merged with Vodafone, the company Idea Cellular, its share was trading at 90 rupees in Bombay Stock Exchange, and the share was trading at 95 rupees in the National Stock Exchange. So that means there was a difference of 5 rupees. Ideally speaking, I could have brought 10,000 shares of Idea on Bombay Stock Exchange at 90 rupees per share, and I've sold all 10,000 shares on National Stock Exchange at 95 rupees. Clear? So which means I'm making a profit of 5 rupees. So 5 rupees into 10,000 shares is how much? So I'm making a profit of around 50,000 rupees. And how much time did I require to make this profit? Hardly 10 minutes. Why? Because I put the order, I buy the share in one market, okay, and I immediately put another order, sell the share in the second market. I cover up my position. Are you able to understand? So such people who indulge into such type of activities, they are called arbitrageurs. They take the advantage of the difference in the price in the two markets, and then they make the profits. Clear? Next we have the floor brokers, or we also call as commission brokers. Okay, commission brokers are those particular brokers. Okay, normally if we want to trade, okay, we go to the broker and tell him that you buy this particular share, you sell this particular, we tell the broker. Okay, but in case of a commission broker, or in case of a floor broker, he will tell you which share to buy and he will tell you which share to generally sell. For that you have to pay him commission. Are you able to understand? He will tell you which shares to buy, which shares to sell, and based on that you will have to pay the commission for that particular broker. So that is what we call as floor broker or a commission broker. The next type of broker that we have is called as a jobber. Okay, now this concept of jobber is applicable only on Bombay Stock Exchange. It is not applicable on National Stock Exchange. Okay, why, or what is a jobber? A jobber is a type of a broker. Okay, what does he do? He purchases shares on his own name first, and then he will sell the shares to people like you and me. Normally, any other broker is not allowed to do so. Any broker is not allowed to purchase shares on his name and then transfer it to the other person's name. That is not permitted. But if you are a jobber, and specifically if you are working in BSE, then you are allowed to purchase shares on your name first, and then accordingly transfer the shares, okay, to your investor or to your retail investor at a certain margin that the jobber is going to decide. So that is what we call as a jobber. This is applicable only in Bombay Stock Exchange, not applicable in NSE. In fact, the latest news that is coming is they want to avoid jobbers now, because jobbers are creating more frauds, and that is the reason they don't want jobbers in the picture. They only want people who do not purchase shares, or brokers who do not purchase shares on their name, but they purchase on behalf of their client. They want such people, okay, to avoid any further loss. Next one is Badla Financers. Now this concept was there some time ago in India. Now it is no longer available. Badla Financer is a person or is a broker who will give you money. Say for example, I am a Badla Financer, and probably Rashmi is there. Rashmi wants to buy shares of Ambuja Cement, right? But she does not have money. So what will I do? I will finance her, or I will give her money from my account. I will give to Rashmi, right? So once Rashmi gets this particular money, Rashmi is going to put an order for Ambuja Cement with me. I am going to buy shares on behalf of Rashmi from the exchange and allocate the shares to Rashmi. Over a certain period of time, Rashmi has to pay a fixed sum of money to me. That is what we call as Badla Financer. Yeah. So here the broker is the same, and the person who is going to give you money to buy the shares is also the same. So he is called as a Badla Financer. So these are the different types of brokers that we have on the exchange. But generally today, there are only three types of brokers. We have hedgers, we have speculators, and we have arbitrageurs. So these are the three main brokers that are available today. Other brokers are still there, but slowly they are in a phase of moving out of the system. So this is what I have wanted to tell you as far as the brokers are concerned. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in understanding this? I'm waiting for responses from people. Any doubts in understanding this? Yeah, any doubts, please? Swapnil, okay. Fine. Sufyan also says okay, fine. So we'll stop the class here. Okay. And in my next class, I will continue the rest.